Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Moret Sports Complex here on the campus of Lenoir-Rhyne University in lovely Hickory, North Carolina. I'm Danny Nicosia, here to bring you a short pregame talk before our two broadcasters, Eric Bach and Jacob Parkinson, take over the reins for tonight's men's matchup. Tonight, the Lenoir-Rhyne Bears will take on the Limestone Saints. The Bears come into tonight's matchup 1-1 with a win versus Florida Tech and then a loss this past week to number 20 Young Harris. Limestone comes into tonight's game with a 3-1 overall record with two non-conference wins over Belmont Abbey and North Greenville, as well as their first South Atlantic Conference. They entered the conference last year, but due to COVID, we played an abbreviated spring season. So this will be their first official fall, starting off strong with a 1-0 win, and this is the Bears' first conference matchup of the season. It's a beautiful night here in Hickory, North Carolina, and I'm going to kick it over to my partner, Eric Bach, here shortly to give you starting lineups.
Lineups for each squad. First, for the Limestone Saints, under head coach Eric Alsack. Number 3, Andres Cabranes, Alexander Render. Number 13, Jacob Hancock. Number 15, S.J. Dreschler. Number 16, Mark Radoki. And number 20, Oz Gosling. And in goal for the Saints, number 1, Johan Hipper. Now for the home team, starting off your Lenoir-Rhyne Bears. Number 2, Benny Gienizer. Number 3, Harry Rowe. Number 4, Miguel Montano. Number 7, Jaime Poza. Number 8, Jaime DeManuel. Number 10, Victor Cascon. Number 11, Noah Tipo. Number 13, Danny Fernandez. Number 14, Diego Delgado. Number 24, Carlos Montalillo Lobo. And in goal for the Bears, number 28, Camden Coleman. The Bears are coached by Jack Winter and assisted by Josh Alderson, Diego Field, and goalkeeper coach Carlos Rubio.
Turn me up. All right, Jake. I made my way over here. Not out of breath.
You got the golf cart, though.
I did have a golf cart. Opening kickoff underway. Limestone and the Bears, part 2 of our doubleheader tonight. Bear women took the first leg of this matchup as the game is stopped and Jaime DeManuel has maybe a cut or something that he has to cover up. We're not 25 seconds into the game, but it's the first time in 2 weeks the Bears have been home. We've only played one game in that time. That was the season opener 2 weeks ago against Florida Tech. It's 2-0 win. Fell earlier this week at Young Harris, 2-0. So that's it. The Bears are 1-1. Opening conference play tonight, almost at full strength. Got a couple of guys that were back from injury. Noah Tiefel's back tonight. They are still without goalkeeper Juan Basabi, but he's the only one. Bears got kind of bit by the injury bug early. But Camden Coleman's filled in nicely. Andres Cabranes will take this throw in for Limestone, who is 3-1 on the year. Their loss, coincidentally enough, was to Young Harris as well. So both of these squads have fallen at the hands of Young Harris. Limestone's second conference game blew out Anderson the other night 4-0, so they got to be riding some confidence coming in. But Jake, do you think that the Bears were suffering maybe from a little bit of rust from having a week and a half off between game 1 and game 2?
Possibly. It's good to keep the momentum going when you're playing well. You want to keep that going, but yeah, sometimes a week off, although it can refresh the muscles and can make you feel fresh, yeah, you lose that momentum sometimes.
This is Tristan DeLaff working his way in with the left foot, but cleared out of there by Jaime DeManuel. Picked up that second goal that was really the final nail in the coffin against Florida Tech a couple of weeks ago, and it was a crazy goal from way outside the box. Here he is here with it. Fernandez in the middle as well. And Victor Cascone, who is the reigning sack player of the year. Harry rolling on net, just wide. Man, that was a quick run for Harry. Found some space in the middle of that Saints defense.
And this is what I expect to see from Harry Rowe all game. Just literally going up and down that left-hand side. You see it all the time. And he has a good delivery into the box, and he has a good shot on him as well.
Just missed the goalpost by mere inches there. It turns into a corner for the Bears. Goalkeeper is Johan Hipper for the Saints. Rowe takes the corner, and it's promptly headed out of there by the Saints, but it'll stay with the Bears down in their offensive zone.
Harry has been one of the players that stood out to me from watching the first few games. He looks really comfortable in the team, and it's only his first year as well.
He's young. This is an experienced team. He returned both the sack offensive and defensive players of the year in Cascone and Fernandez. So that's kind of the spine of the team right there. Cascone on the midfield, Fernandez at center back. But Benny Gieneiser's got a ton of experience. We'll see Chavi Moya tonight, who hasn't played for the Bears but has a ton of experience. Montano's the same way. DeManuel's the same way. So the fact that here's Cascone with a run, but coming out to get it is Hipper. Seen so much experience on this Bear team, but Rowe has found his way, found his niche in this offense.
He might be more at home tonight with the weather.
Yeah, this is Britain weather, right?
Yeah, well, I saw the Bears were playing at about 5 p.m. the other week, and it was very warm.
Yeah.
So
it's
definitely not that warm in Wales where he's from.
It's been a relatively cool day. But yeah, things have really cooled off as the sun has set. Good to see Noah Tiefel back. He was in a walking boot for most of preseason camp. He's up there with the salmon pink shoes right at the front of the Bear attack. Rowe chips this one in for him. But Johann Hipper up to the challenge. Tiefel and Hipper both Germans. Hipper from Munich. There's a chip in. This is Miguel Montano, one of the newcomers for the Bears. And Carlos Montalillo-Lobo, who won the SAC Offensive Player of the Week honors for the first week of the season after he scored the first goal. That was his first goal as a Bear. The first goal of this season. Nice little header that ended up being the game-winning goal in the opener against Florida Tech. A little bit too far that time for DeManuel.
Limestone keep trying to go down the left-hand side with their left back. But the Bears have had a few good opportunities. That main one coming from Harry Rowe.
It's Fabricio that took a dive and no call, and now we have our first foul of the game on Limestone. It was on Pascal Werba, with Ferreira right in the middle of that one as well. Here's Rose sneaking down that far side. A perfect pass for Montalillo-Lobo.
There's a huge Spanish influence on this Bears team.
That's
when
right.
you have a look. There's 6 or 7 players.
Delgado's one of them who made that pass in. Obviously, Cascone and Fernandez are both Spaniards. Xavi Moyes from Spain. Nick Bohiguas, who we'll see tonight, I'm sure, is from Germany. Or, excuse me, from Spain.
Limestone's team seems to be from all over the place.
Yeah, Limestone has a very strong international presence on their team. It's Rowe again on the outside. He's left-footed, so that helps him playing on that far side there. But good defense there by the Saints to keep it out. It's a long throw into the net. Wow, I didn't expect that to get through, but it did to Hipper.
Hopefully we get an equally as exciting game as the women's game.
Women's game was very exciting. It was a 1-1 tie at halftime. Limestone came out the gates and immediately scored a goal to make it 2-1. And then the Bears grabbed 2 in a span of 90 seconds in the middle part of the second half. Rhea Acton, the game winner. She had 2 goals on the night. And the Lady Bears got off to a winning start in conference play. The men trying to do the same. Limestone's already has 1 conference win under their belt, 4-0 over Anderson earlier this week. Got to think that their plan involves stopping this man. Victor Cascone pops it ahead, but DeManuel didn't have a chance for it. Is there a way defensively that you can plan for certain players more than others, Jacob?
It depends if the coaches have footage of the previous games, so they know what the opposing team looks like, how they shape up.
Which these days they do.
Yep. So the likelihood is they're going to be watching the attackers, they're going to be watching the midfielders, watching what they do. Do they like to go out wide, which we seem to do with Harry, like I've said. The Bears, seem to do with Harry. So yeah, you can prepare for certain players. Some attackers like to use their pace, others are stronger and they like to sit in the box and wait for the ball to come to them.
And you think that it helps that there's a common opponent as well with young Harris?
Yeah, I think there is. I think it does help them. Again, they'll get to know their opponents. They'll play them more than once, so they'll learn their strengths, they'll learn their weaknesses, and play to them.
And you've got guys that have been around as long as the Bears have, with Cascone and Fernandez and all the guys that we listed with all that experience. It's the scouting report's got to be kind of out there on them at this point, right?
Yeah, you would think so. When they've had 2 or 3 seasons, you would think the opposition coaches will have plenty of footage on them. The ones that they'll struggle most with is the freshmen, because obviously they won't have hardly any footage on them. They'll have a few pre-season games, but pre-season games aren't really much to go off, to be honest.
Right, the Harry Rose of the world.
Yep, and yeah.
He's really the only freshman that sees significant time.
Yeah, well, I was just looking at the sheet then, and I realised the Bears don't really have many freshmen on their team.
Nope.
It's experienced.
Picked second in the SAC preseason poll, behind Wingate. Bear football team, by the way, was tied up at halftime. There's a header that's almost in.
And that was a very good delivery into the box.
It was Jaime.
Here comes
Posa
Limestone down the left-hand side again.
Cascone takes it from DeLaff right into the corner. It's a clean look at it for Limestone, but they don't make the most of it.
Going back to your question before about the coaches reviewing other teams, I've noticed that Limestone seem to just be going down this left-hand side, and maybe that's something the coach has picked up about the Bears. Maybe he feels that the Bears are weak on the right-hand side, or weaker on the right-hand side as opposed to the left.
If there's a coach that knows how to game plan, it's Eric Alsop, the 19th year head coach for Limestone. Limestone just came into this league too, by the way. This is technically their second school year in the SAC, but first normal school year. They came over in the 2020-21 school year from Conference Carolinas into the South Atlantic Conference, so maybe not as much familiarity with the SAC opponents as, the former Conference Carolina foes. It's a foul on the Bears that will lead to a set piece here for Limestone. Gathering just a mass of bodies outside the 18 right there. Taking it is Ferreira. And Fernandez gets his head on that one out of there. He's just so physically imposing. 6'2", nearly 180 pounds right there at center back. Somebody got undercut there for the Bears, so it'll go back the other way. I think that was Rowe. Jack Winter in his 6th season, 47-26. 2 postseason bids under his belt. Probably would have had another had the spring season been a normal season. Bears lost in the SAC final to Wingate. But maybe would have been in play for an at-large bid to the tournament had there been one. Seems to be pretty neck and neck here through the first 15, though, Jacob.
Yeah, it's been quite cagey so far. No one's really taken any major risks yet. The Bears have put a few good balls through, but they've either been too hard or they haven't had the runners going through. And like I say, Limestone, as I say it, have been getting some joy down the left-hand side. So
I know you're new to the commentating game, but you'll find that as soon as you say something hasn't happened, it happens.
yeah, commentator's curse.
Yeah. I don't know, they call us jinx or just maybe we're just prophets here in the broadcasting game. But you competed this morning, didn't you? Jacob's on the cross-country team here at LR.
Yeah, we had a meet this morning. Didn't go great for me, but the women took the team trophy.
Yeah,
home,
they
so
did. That was good for them.
Good result for them. We have some very good runners for the Bears on the women's cross-country team.
Cascone got held, and the whistle was late. I think the referee was trying to see if he could get out of it, and once he saw that Cascone lost it due to being held, he had a little bit of a delayed whistle. So Rowe will take it from way back.
He seems to be on all the set pieces, the free kicks, the corners.
Sometimes you'll see Cascone on a corner. This one's popped in off the head of Montano, but easy one for Hipper to grab out of the air. That was what the Bears wanted out of that set piece, though.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad delivery. It was hard to generate the power on that.
It's a turnover for Limestone there, and Ferreira maybe turns into a chance for the Bears. The Bears turn it right back. There's Benny. He's so solid on this near side.
It looks like he's going to be busy tonight.
Yeah. Josh Alderson, when I talked to him, assistant coach for the Bears, raved about how much width Benny gives them. One of the best runners on this team up and down.
You have to be so fit to play as a... Well, I don't know if you call it a fullback over here, but back home we call them fullbacks anyway. Where you're playing on the right or the left.
So that's what fullbacks are.
Yeah,
there's
so
center back and fullbacks.
Yeah, so you have your two centre backs in the middle, and then you have your fullbacks, so that's your right back and your left back. And depending on what system they're playing in, they can pretty much run the length of the pitch and play.
Ooh, it was a rifle off of the foot of Cabranes, but I think for our viewers at home, you'll find that this broadcast will be a lot of education for me from Jacob. So hopefully you can learn something with me at home. It's a good feed for Tiefel down there on the far side. It's close. The ball gets deflected. He wanted a handball, didn't get it. Leo Lobo fires, but it was off the leg of Ferreira. Danny Fernandez. Just a touch too far for DeManuel. But it stays in. And the shot off the foot of Poza. Had a lot of net to work with and kind of cut himself off there on the left side. Probably should have tried to go to the right side of the net.
That was good pressure from the Bears there, though. If you notice how high the fullbacks got again, so the right back and the left back. They seem to be playing with a 5 at the back. So they've got, from the looks of it now, they've got 3 centre backs, and then they've got the 2, their fullbacks, the right back and the left back, and they've just got the freedom of the pitch by the looks of it.
3 center backs, so Fernandez, Delgado, and who's the third in there?
My eyesight is not good enough to tell you that.
And I will say one reason why it's easier to do the women's games on the Bears Sports Network than the men's is because the women's jerseys are easier to read. The men with these basically like referee striped jerseys, which are new and are very sharp when you're up close and personal, are kind of hard to see the numbers from far away. I don't think they had the broadcasters in mind when they ordered the uniforms, though. Ooh. Bears can't believe it as Benny gets whistled for that one.
That was a brilliant touch by Tristan Delaflo from Limestone.
Still on the ground. Holding his left arm or shoulder. And he's up. The crowd gives him a little encouragement. It's a good crowd on a Saturday night. Saw a lot of students here for the women's game, and they've stuck around for the men's game. Bear football team in a dogfight right now, tied up at 14 on the road at Newberry. That one's in on the goal, but way wide. Limestone doing well out of their set pieces so far. Not well enough to score. Yeah. Camden Coleman, who has filled in beautifully for Juan Basabe, who's hurt but close to coming back. Hurt his shoulder on the first day of preseason training. On the last drill at the end of practice, the last rep of the last drill, the end of the first day of practice, the Bears lost their starting goalkeeper, who was honorable mention all-SAC in the spring. But Camden Coleman has done more than just a fill-in job. He has been phenomenal, and his coaches say he would start on just about every other team other than this one when Basabe's healthy. But Bears are the example of a team that you know how important depth is. You saw Jaheim Smith step into the role in place of Tiefel. And Jack Winter said they don't win the Florida Tech game without Jaheim Smith, who's another freshman. Probably we'll see him at some point tonight. Physical takeaway there from Fernandez right inside the center circle. Might have been a handball there on Harry Rowe. Ball was floating around his hand-arm area. Fernandez has to hustle to win that ball in front of Mark Radoki, who is tied for the team lead with 2 goals for Limestone. Radoki, another German from Biberbach. I probably butchered that name. A guy with a very German name in Bach can't pronounce German cities very well. After a very hectic first few minutes, things have kind of settled down here, huh, Jacob?
Yeah, it's definitely cagey. No one really wants to try too much by the looks of it. Right
Tell me
now.
what you mean when you say cagey.
Cagey. No one's. Well, neither of them are throwing everyone forward.
There you
go. Not taking too many risks.
That makes sense.
Just enough, but not too many risks. Sort of figuring each other out at this stage still.
Corner for Harry Rowe. Bumped was Hipper by, might have been Fernandez and all the way up to the net in there, but Johan has no trouble with it.
That's good play by LR to win that back in midfield.
Limestone's just a big team. I mean,
Yeah.
the Bears, for all their experience, they have big guys in Delgado and Fernandez. Gienizer's a big guy, but up front they're not huge. And Limestone, basically across the board, is pretty physically asserting themselves in this game.
Yeah, there's some big guys. I walked past them earlier in the... Well, I'm not the biggest guy, but...
Neither am I.
Yeah, they were definitely looking down at me anyway.
There's not many guys under 6 foot, at least listed on the roster that we have for Limestone. But another corner coming up for the Bears. This is 4th or 5th one of this first half. Feels like the Bears have got to cash one in before too long. So Rowe taps that one in, but skying for it is S.J. Dreschler.
They went with a new corner approach there rather than just swinging it straight in.
Cascone's centering pass leads to another corner. Victor will take it.
We'll see if they do the same again, if they roll it back to...
Kind of a
Harry
delayed corner. Yeah,
Yeah,
they did the same thing.
same.
Rowe lofts it in. Montano over the net.
And they'll have multiple set-piece routines, corner routines. It's a lot of clubs back home in England will do stuff like roll up their socks or put their hand up, and it will mean something different, give the players a signal of what they want to do.
Well, I mean, we mentioned how many guys from Spain on there. Maybe they could just speak in Spanish.
Well, yeah, but then you'll think one or two from Limestone.
Yeah, that's true. There's a larger German population on Limestone than it is for the Bears.
Yeah.
So I guess if you speak German, somebody on the field's going to know what you're doing. And probably the same with Spanish. One of the guys who's from stateside, Coleman, keeper for the Bears, is just from Lynchburg, Virginia. It's a little closer than Germany or Spain to Hickory.
Yeah, and you see when the keeper has the ball how high and wide both Benny and Harry are for the Bears.
Here's Harry. Has some space on the far side, but whiffed on the touch. Strike one. They're still playing. Looks like the baseball game to our left is done, but that would have been strike one on Harry Rowe. Limestone's just content to clear it out of their defensive zone at this point. Saints had a pretty demoralizing end to their spring season in the SAC tournament. That's a foul on Harry Rowe. But they lost 7-1 to Wingate in the quarterfinals of the SAC tournament. This just doesn't seem like a team that could possibly lose 7-1 to anybody. Unless you throw the Spanish national team out there or something, or Manchester United. What's your team, Manchester United?
My team, Liverpool.
Oh, Liverpool.
Yeah.
Yes.
We won today, so that's the main thing.
Against?
Crystal Palace, but I didn't get to watch it because I was running.
You ever heard of DVR?
No.
You know, you can record the game and watch it later.
Oh, no. I don't watch football games on record. Well, soccer games on record. I have to watch it live.
So you just don't watch if you can't watch it
Yeah,
live?
I watch it on. It's called Match of the Day back home, and they'll go over they'll recap all the Premier League games. So I'll watch it on there.
We wouldn't want you to lose your fill of Premier League soccer now that you're stateside.
No, never. I'm still transitioning to calling it soccer.
Yeah, we'll forgive you. You're going to get your first taste of American football next weekend.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Bears' first home game against Mars Hill. I think everyone's excited for that.
Yeah.
They're in a dogfight right now at Newberry, all tied up in the third quarter. There's a foul on the Bears, so outside the 18, lots of bodies moving and shaking right on the line. And this one wide of the net, but able to run it down is Josiah Ortiz, who just checked into the game. What a job there by Camden Coleman to snatch that one out of the air.
When Coleman's had stuff to do this half, he's not had lots to do, but when he's had stuff to do, he's done it well. He's had good distribution as well from his feet.
That's almost as important as the stops themselves, right?
Oh, yeah,
The
definitely.
way that the keepers distribute the ball after they have it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it can... If a keeper has good distribution, you can turn the opposition team around almost instantly and get on the counter-attack.
First sub of the game for the Bears is Rowe will take a seat. Bohiguis comes in. Go provides good depth at the wing-back position for the Bears. Cabranes with a run, but gets run off the ball by Tiefel.
I also think, and I might butcher his name here, so I'm going to try and pronounce it, but Carlos Montelio Lobo.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Montelibo, right? But we're close enough.
Close enough.
No, excuse me, Montelio. Yeah, no, you were right. I was wrong. No, you got me.
He always looks good. Always looks good when I watch him. He controls the game, and in possession, he looks so comfortable as well. If I'm reading the shirt number right, anyway, am I?
You are.
That's fine. I thought he was 24 over there, but
yeah, he's not a big guy. He's on the ball right now.
Yeah, I thought that was him.
And
having a hard time with the shirt numbers.
The coaches say he's the smartest guy on the team, both soccer, football IQ, and actual IQ.
Yeah.
They said he's probably going to work for NASA someday.
Wow.
So that's like, he's like an actual rocket scientist.
But he plays that deeper role just in front of the defence, and he, like I said, he's comfortable on the ball. He can make a good pass. So
bodies flying everywhere, and we haven't had many whistles, which I'm okay with. I like a physical game. This is Diego Delgado. 7 starts in the spring. Honorable mention all-SAC last year, but Jack Winter and the coaches believe Delgado deserved more than just honorable mention. As the Bear women's team makes their way back to the stands and gets a nice ovation from the crowd after their 3-2 win over Limestone right before us here. Just over 11 to go. This first half has kind of flown by, hasn't it, Jake?
Yeah, it has. It's been for a 0-0. It's been quite exciting to watch. Actually, it's we're just waiting for that cutting edge really from either side.
Jack Winter frantically barking out orders over there across the way. Looks like Chavi Moya's ready to check in at the next Bear throw-in. That one gets through to Gienizer. Poza was going to take a run at it down there, and he didn't. Here comes Chavi. One of the most physical guys on this team, according to the coaches.
He's a big guy.
He is. He's every part of 6'2", 185. Thought it was a handball maybe off of Josiah Ortiz there, but not called. Bit of pressure on Coleman here. Just wisely clears it out. Ferreira knocks that one out of bounds, and the Bears will have it. But this has been a feisty game so far.
Yeah, and I think the refs refed it well, actually. He's not been... and he's played on for that one as well.
I think Benny just kind of lost his footing there. I was okay with no whistle.
I don't mind that as long as it keeps consistent throughout the game. I don't mind the ref letting play go on.
You saw the referee in the women's game call it very tight from start to finish.
Yeah.
Very tight. Hasn't been the case so far in this one.
I think it makes the game more exciting if the ref lets the game go on.
Chavi with a nifty move there. Chavi tried to head it over to Cascone, but Thomas Mueller, who has checked in. Another German. Wears number 21.
He's taken the name of a
very
good Bayern Munich player.
Pretty famous German national team player too. Even I know that.
Unless he's come over to play for Limestone.
Bears might be in trouble if that was the case.
I think with games like this, once the first goal goes in, we'll see a lot more end-to-end action.
That was exactly what happened in the women's game.
Yeah, the floodgates will open, I think, once the first one goes in.
Once the Bears scored, Limestone scored within a couple of minutes after that, and like you said, the floodgates just opened. Still feels like these two are kind of feeling each other out here late in the first half. It's a long run down that far side for DeLoff. Wins that one, but stays with the Saints. DeLoff, man, he's on the ground more than he's not. You see him on his rear end back there in front of the linesman. Stefan Robe checks in for the Saints. DeLoff is still, he must be getting subbed out because he's still sitting. Oh, maybe not. Now he's getting up. So they stop the clock at 7:08, and now they restart.
Yeah. Well, it confuses me with the stopping the clock because back home we just do extra time at the end of each half to account for the stoppages.
I don't know if we're that sophisticated over here.
No.
We just have to stop the clock and hope for the best. What do they call that? Stoppage time?
Yeah, stoppage time.
See, that to me, I like this way better because stoppage time is a little bit subjective.
Yeah, it is. It's down to the referee.
Montaleo Lobo just a little bit wide for him there, but right. And I like to know exactly when the game's going to end, you know. It's kind of up to the referee in that way. Maybe that's just me.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Since Chavi Moyer's come on, it seems to me that he's taken the position of Carlos. I'm going to say his name wrong again now.
You said it right the last time.
It's just such a big name, isn't it?
Yeah.
Carlos Montaleo Lobo.
There you go.
And now he's playing a bit further forward. He has a bit more freedom now.
It's a center that goes too long, but it'll lead to a corner for Limestone. Their first of the game.
But he looks really comfortable on the ball as well, does Chavi Moyer.
Yeah, he's been great since he's come into the game.
Yeah.
Looked more comfortable than a lot of the Bears that started the game on the ball.
I think he's just playing in front of that back three where Chavi was playing. Oh, sorry, he is Chavi. Where Carlos was playing.
Look at that, just cluster of bodies right there in the middle of the box. I think that's Deloff that'll take the corner. Nope, it's not. Can't tell who it is because Deloff is right there. Gets deflected, and Benny clears it. Good defense there. So a little bit of congestion in front of Camden Coleman there, but the Bears get out of it without much stress.
I don't know. He shouldn't.
You think he should have stayed in his box?
Oh, the goalkeeper. Yeah, he. I was thinking the left back. He shouldn't be putting his goalkeeper under pressure like that.
Right. Yeah. Definitely not a good job by the left back.
And then if the goalkeeper catches that one, then it's a indirect free kick because it's a pass back.
True.
So that's putting him under a bit of pressure.
This is why you're here. I didn't even think of that.
So you don't really want to be passing back to keeper where it's at a height
where
he would normally be catching it because he has to chest it down or head it.
Good tackle there from Danny, but gets whistled. Somebody's down. And they stop it with 3:15 on the clock. I can't tell who that is that's down for Limestone. Is it Deloff? Might be. Don't see number 7 walking around. Festive Saturday night. Leg 2 of our doubleheader.
It's a good turnout for the Bears.
Yeah.
A lot of supporters here tonight. It's so much easier to play under a good atmosphere though. When the stands are empty, or the bleachers as you'll call them, when the bleachers are empty.
The bleachers. I think we call them the stands too.
Okay. But it must be so much harder to get that extra bit of motivation.
When they're not, you're saying?
When they're empty, yeah. But when you have the fans here cheering you on.
Was what was so desperately missed in the COVID year.
Yeah, yeah.
Only a handful of masked fans now in the outdoor events if you're vaccinated. No mask needed. No capacity limits. There's Jaheim Smith. I mentioned him earlier. He's getting his first run. Just a spry freshman from Miami. Speaking of Miami, my Spartans took down the Hurricanes today down in Miami. 3-touchdown win on the road. Can't ask for more than that. Had to get that one in. I was just waiting for Jaheim to come into the game so I could say that. Good move there by Chavi to get that one out. Two and a half to go before halftime. Bears trying to hold off a Limestone push here. Goes back to the Bears as Brian Shields, freshman from Piscataway, New Jersey. What school is in Piscataway, New Jersey, Jake? Do you know?
You're asking the wrong
Yeah.
person.
Yeah. Rutgers. You ever heard of Rutgers?
No.
Okay. See? He's teaching me about soccer. I'm teaching him about American geography. Ball's been in the Saint offensive zone for a while now. Bear defense has been having to work hard these past few minutes. That one's on net, but too high. And a goal kick for Coleman.
The Bears have been defending a lot in these last few minutes, but in regards to this half, I can't really think of a dangerous shot which the Saints have really taken, to be honest. The same goes for the Bears, really. Other than that early effort by Rowe in the first half, well, it is the first half still, but
Yeah, that's been the best Bears scoring chance of the game.
yeah, there's not really been too many clear-cut chances for either side.
No, yeah, I totally agree.
So it's all well and good having the possession, but
Yeah,
you need to do something with it.
amen. Under a minute, last Bear run was shut down. Johan Hipper will take a big swing at it. Pops it up down the field as Bohiguis almost stumbled over his own teammate there trying to head that one.
Referee plays on from that.
Well, that fit with the rest of the physicality of
Yeah.
the half, I think.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it would have been a bit unfair for him to give that one.
So Limestone will take it to the half. It's a scoreless first half. Saw some chances early, but not a whole lot in the middle to second part of the first half. We'll take a halftime break, 15 minutes until the start of the second half. No score between Limestone and Lenoir-Rhyne on the Bears Sports Network, presented by MBA Roofing.
I knew that there was an opportunity to have my college paid for if I was good enough to play baseball at that level. That was going to make a big difference in my family. D2 baseball gave me an opportunity to play at a high level and to get an education that's going to be valuable for me throughout the rest of my life. I chose to take my experience of being a student athlete and pursue that within my career and to get a master's degree. If I wouldn't have had a baseball scholarship, there'd be no chance that I'm doing what I'm doing today.
In NCAA Division II, community engagement is an initiative at all 25 national championships because student athletes want to give back while competing for a national title. Over the course of the year, Division II student athletes have an opportunity to leave a lasting impression in local communities throughout the country. Whether Division II student athletes are volunteering at hospitals, schools, after-school care programs, foster homes, or retirement villages, they make a difference in the lives of others. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Celebrate great with Carolina West Wireless. Great new phones and a great customer experience, all on our great nationwide high-speed network. Stop by today and get big savings on select Samsung smartphones, like $350 off the Samsung Galaxy S20 and S20 Plus, and $350 off the Note 20 and Note 20 Ultra. The great savings continue with 4 lines of unlimited data for just $35 a month per line. Celebrate great savings and go stay connected wherever your travels take you.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
Everett Chevrolet Buick GMC is ready for another exciting football season. Everett has been a proud sponsor of the Lenoir-Rhyne Bears for 25 years, and we wish the Bears a safe and successful season. And August means it's all systems go for another winning season with the Carolina Panthers. We have a tradition of winning in the Carolinas, and when you want to be a winner in the car, truck, or SUV game, come see the sales and service champions at Everett, because if you didn't get an Everett deal, you dropped the ball, baby. Woo!
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
I love being busy in my garden. I got flowers to plant and beds to clean out. When I was feeling really tired and not like myself, I saw a doctor. Look at me now. The doctors were good, they worked with me, and they laughed with me. I'm back to doing everything I love. I needed a doctor, and I found the expert for my heart.
Paramount Kia in Hickory. We want to see you driving a new Kia or, hey, a quality pre-owned Kia. We've got a huge selection of new and pre-owned Kias. You got to get to Paramount Kia in Hickory, Highway 70, ParamountKia.com.
Welcome back to the Bears Sports Network, presented by MBA Roofing. We got a good ball game here at halftime. It's a scoreless game between LR and Limestone in the conference opener for the Bears. Eric Bach and Jacob Parkinson, so happy you are along with us tonight.
I'm glad to be here.
On a Saturday night. Jake, what do you think the Bears need to do better in the second half than they did in the first?
I thought that they looked all right in possession, the Bears. They just didn't have that final pass. They didn't have that cutting edge. Hopefully in this half we can put balls into the box. The Bears can put balls into the box and hopefully get someone on the end of them. I would say the same for Limestone as well. I think they've looked good in possession. They've also not had that cutting edge.
Yeah, nobody's found the back of the net, and it's because of lack of execution at the very end of it for both sides.
I think there's been a lack of playing the ball to the forwards. They haven't been getting the ball to their feet. They've been getting balls which have been either too long or too fast or too short, rather than just getting it to their feet.
Haven't heard much from Victor Cascone. Still scoreless on the year for him.
Just from the early start, it looks like the Saints are going to be going down this left-hand side again.
It's where they spent a lot of their time in the first half, which was on the near side when they were going the other way.
I really do think that is something the coach has implemented. I think it's too much of a coincidence that it's the majority of the time.
Head coach Eric Alsop in his 19th year at the helm for the Saints, playing their first full regular season in the South Atlantic Conference, coming over from Conference Carolina. There's a good chance for Jaime Poza. That was the first real shot on goal that I can remember, other than, well, Harry Rose was not on goal earlier that just missed the post, but making Johan Hipper, the keeper for Limestone, do some work there is a foul
by Ollie Gardner.
Yep, Fabricio gets fouled.
We've got that great British partnership in defence with Gardner and Rowe.
That's right.
The Welshman and the Englishman.
Gardner is in the game now. Didn't start. It starts the second half. Ollie from Braunton. Is that how you say that? Braunton?
I looked at that earlier, and I don't even know where that is myself.
Okay, so, well, I guess I can't feel that bad for not knowing how to say it if the
Braunton, yeah, it looks like Braunton.
If the person from England doesn't know either.
That's probably the village he's from, so. Support Southampton, also the Saints.
Josh Alderson, the assistant coach, joked that he's got the worst hair on the team. Said they've been imploring him to cut it or change it, but Ollie is very stubborn.
Well,
I think he relishes the fact that his teammates and coaches make fun of it.
If I was him, I would keep it the same because I had an awful haircut the other day. So,
the other day?
Well, actually, I say the other day. It was almost 2 weeks ago.
I haven't noticed. Did you get your hair cut?
Yeah, it was about 2 weeks ago. I only met you after I had it cut.
Oh, so I never.
No.
Okay, I got you.
So I've got to find a good barbers in America.
There's many. I promise you that. Harry Rowe.
Oh, and that's a good ball.
That is, and Cascone couldn't quite beat S.J. Dreschler there. He's a mountain of a man, is Dreschler. 6'4", 190 pounds there in the back. But
it's a foul by Carlos Montelillo Lobo.
3 for 3.
Yeah, I'm getting there. It's just a daunting name to say.
And yeah, and especially that it's Carlos too instead of
Oh,
Carlos.
Carlos. Okay,
You
well, I've
know?
been saying that bit wrong.
It's easy to mess up. And I think we might have our first card of the game coming. We do. It's on Josiah Ortiz there on the far side. Picks up a yellow with 40.5 to go here in the second half. Been a physical game, but nothing that's risen to the level of card until right there.
That's good pressure by Limestone.
It's been pretty consistent throughout the game. Jaime Poza, who had good scoring opportunity earlier in the second half. Feels like the Bears just need a break offensively. That's what got the women going, was a handball in the box that led to a Rhea Acton penalty kick goal. And that's what kind of started the scoring. Feels like maybe something like that is needed for this game to really jumpstart offensively either way.
I do think in a game like this, the first goal is likely to come on the counter-attack, because you see now how well set up Limestone are in defence. They've got their back four, they've got their midfield in front of that, and they're all behind the ball, all apart from their striker who's up near the halfway line. And it's the same with the Bears when Limestone are attacking. They're well set, and I just think it's going to take someone to get them on the counter-attack, so they're not set up and they're not ready. So just a quick goal from one side to the other.
When you say the counter-attack, you mean after a team has unsuccessfully attacked?
So now, for example, if Limestone have the ball, if they were just to run up, as they could well do, and score. Score from that.
I gotcha.
So the Bears wouldn't have been set up defensively to cope with that.
Ortiz was offside, the guy that just picked up the yellow card.
Here come Limestone.
It's a good feed. See if Gardner can challenge right on the goal.
Ooh,
He can.
That's a brilliant tackle by Gardner.
Jacob Hancock, the man with the chance. This one's poked in. Delgado got his body on it. That looked dangerous there, and the Saints still have it in their zone.
That was a brilliant tackle by Gardner. Timed it just right as well.
Somebody's down. Is that
someone down in the box?
Fernandez? I think it is. Danny Fernandez, reigning SAC Defensive Player of the Year. Sitting up now and helped up by his teammates, but I think he maybe took one to the torso or even worse in that scrum. That's what it looks like, the way that he was holding himself. But a corner for Limestone, so the Bears not out of the woods yet. One's popped in front, but Monteleo Lobo clears it. Big scrum of bodies there on the midline on the far side. I think Ollie Gardner's been great in the second half since he's come in.
He's looked under control. Hard
to do when you've been watching a game.
Oh, definitely.
You know, and you join a game in progress that you maybe amped up to make a difference, it's got to be a pretty hard thing to do to come in to start the second half of a game after not playing in the first.
Luckily, he is a junior, so he has been here for a few years with these players, so he does know.
Yeah, second team all-conference a year ago, or last season. I keep saying a year ago, it was in the spring.
Yeah.
Nice job there by Stefan Robe to slide in front of that pass. Fernandez.
That was a good challenge by Rowe. Ooh.
Crowd's very lively for a 0-0 game.
See, if the Bears can move this quickly now, we have a chance of a counter-attack, but
Limestone's
they just
pretty
seem
well
to slow
set
it
up.
down.
Yep.
When they have the chance to counter.
This one's chipped to the middle, but nobody home. Rowe wasn't quite centered enough to have a chance at that one, but it'll still be a Bear throw-in the offensive zone.
And let's see if Rowe tries to use that long throw-in again. No.
It's another center right in front. And they say corner off of Johan Hipper, the goalie. Oh, Jaime Poza was right there on the pass in from Rowe.
Cross turn to shot, I think.
Yep. So Rowe will take this corner. Feels like it's got to come off of one of these set pieces for the Bears to really give themselves a good scoring chance. Not a great pass from Rowe, a little bit low. Leo Lobo chips it in the other way. Oh, an offside were the Bears. That was a great chance, but somebody set Fernandez all the way down there. I think it is.
I was trying to make out the numbers as well.
I think it is. It was Danny Fernandez, the center back, who was the guilty party.
If he would just let that run onto our other player, I can't see his number from here. It might. I don't think he was offside. So
the other guy.
The other guy, yeah.
Noah Tiefel down there. There's another one in. Coleman has to come get it. He punches it away. That was an aggressive move from Camden Coleman, and he crashed into the Limestone forward. Chicken winged him. But a good play there from Coleman, would you agree? Or do you think that he should have let his defender take him on?
No, I think the keeper had to go for it then.
Yeah.
I was just watching the referee, what his opinion on it was, but
I think it was just two guys going for the ball that happened to run into each other.
Yeah.
I don't think there was any.
Yeah, but a different ref, different day.
Oh, yeah. This is a chance for Ortiz. Looked like a handball.
Yeah, I think that would have been disallowed if he were to score from that.
I think it bounced and hit Ortiz right in the wrist. There's been a few that I thought have been handballs in both the games tonight that haven't been called. Maybe it's just things look like it from where we are perched up here as opposed to field level.
On things like that, for example, on that one, the ball came straight back to the Bears, so there was no need for the referee to stop the game.
So you think he saw it and purposely passed on it?
Yeah, definitely. That's what I think anyway. If Limestone had scored from that, I think he would have stopped it and called the handball, but there was no need for him to do it. The Bears had one possession.
No need to interrupt the game.
Exactly. Just let the flow of the game carry on.
Interesting. I just thought that a handball was something that you see it, you blow your whistle, but Look at me, learning all the time.
It's the same in the Premier League now with some of the offsides. They'll just play on sometimes. If it's going to the opposite, if it's going to the other team, they'll just let it play.
Gotcha. The back end of the spine of the team, Danny Fernandez trying to get something going.
But you see how well set up Limestone are again.
Yeah. They're well coached.
Yep.
They are disciplined. They're not afraid of the Bears, that's for sure. Coleman with a nifty little pass ahead, but it'll end up staying with LR. 15 minutes gone in the second half. Still waiting on somebody to find the back of the net. Cascone, here's a good chance. Victor rolls one.
Ooh.
Didn't get quite all of it there, and Hipper easily fields the ground ball.
Not quite the connection he wanted on that one.
I think he got a little bit chipped there by our boy Thomas Muller. Different Thomas Muller. We think. Unless on his off days from Bayern Munich, he's coming over to Gaffney, South Carolina to play for the Saints. Couple of reinforcements coming in for the Bears. Bohiguis comes in for Benny Gienizer. D'Emanuel checks out as well. Montano in for him. Coaching staff says about Montano that he's got maybe the best left foot on the team for a right-footed player. Doesn't really matter which foot he uses if he can find the back of the net.
Exactly, and bringing someone with experience on like him when you need a goal is it's always a good idea.
He pops that one right back in. Staying on side is Bohiguis, who just checked in with him. Victor Cascone inside the box, chips it to the middle.
This is better from the Bears, though. They're actually putting some balls into the box, and hopefully someone's going to get onto the end of one of these.
Feels like it's just a matter of time, right? Before somebody scores. Maybe it's Limestone.
You think so. Is Harry Rowe going to use the long throw this time? He has got it in the locker.
He plans on it. Not a good bounce for the Bears. This is a good run on the outside.
That was a good ball.
Tristan Deloff, he's dangerous. Some nifty footwork, but gets cut off, and a goal kick. Great defense there by Montano to challenge him and win that ball.
If Deloff could have just got his head up, slowed it down, and picked out one of his teammates, the Bears could have been in some trouble there.
Limestone 1-0 in the league. Had no trouble with Anderson the other night. 4-0 win. They have Wingate 1 week from today at home. Preseason first place team in the conference. Historically good program. But feels the Saints will probably relish a week off after this one.
Seems like it's their turn to attack now. The Bears have had their 5-minute spell.
Not a good pass there.
Ooh.
Montano with a good tackle.
Brilliant tackle. You
can just see his experience.
Yeah. Definitely. And you got to time them ones just right as well. If he hadn't, with the power of the challenge of that and the studs up, it would have. You got to time it just right.
3 road games in a row for the Bears after tonight. They go to Barton on Wednesday, then Anderson on Saturday, who, as I mentioned, this is trouble in front of the net. And a foul on Limestone as somebody's down for the Bears, but go to Anderson, who I mentioned got beat 4-0 by these Saints, and then go to Coker the following Wednesday. So another 2-week stretch of no home games for the Bears. Their next one is 2 weeks from today. Another doubleheader with the women against Lincoln Memorial. That's on Saturday, October 2nd. A couple of league games, and then one non-league game with Barton. Once again, it just seems like Limestone is just content to boot that thing out of there as soon as it gets close. Harry Rowe on one swing sets up a corner. A little bit of a one-time pass there for Harry.
And again, the centre backs get up into the box. Ollie Gardner being one of them.
Yep. Danny Fernandez right there with him. Xavi Moya backs up to... Excuse me, that's Bohiguis that backs up. Cascone will take the corner. First time we haven't seen Harry Rowe on that tonight. Victor passes it to Harry on the outside. Big left foot strike that goes way high. But we actually have seen that a couple times tonight. Cascone take the corner and just give it off to Rowe.
Yep. I think Rowe's first touch didn't help him out there.
Nope.
He almost trapped the ball underneath him, and then by the time he had done that, he had already messed up his shot.
Gotcha. Carlos wins that ball between two of his teammates, Montano and Fernandez. It's Diego Delgado back there. Exited late in the first half and now is back. Jack Winter, who is, you can just tell by his body language down there, is a little bit frustrated with how things are going offensively. This is a huge opportunity for Jacob Hancock as he centers it up, but not a good effort there, and he knows it. Hands on his jersey, pulls it over his head in frustration with himself.
Just seems too panicked in when the opportunity comes. It's been the same story for both teams, I think, so far, is when they've actually got the ball in close enough proximity to the goal, they're not getting their heads up and just looking.
Seemed like he maybe almost had too much time there.
Yeah.
Like, just rushed it.
Sometimes it's got to take a breath, get your head up, look for your teammates, rather than just swiping at the ball.
Ooh, they give that one back to Limestone. Looked like Tiefel maybe had won that one, but refs say no. And now a little bit of a breakaway chance for the Saints.
Dilaf again. He's looked promising this half.
Feels like this is a great chance in the middle, but Coleman able to pick it up. That was Angelo Fabricio, who's got 2 goals to lead Limestone. He just found himself kind of unscathed in there, but got surrounded quickly and wasn't able to get anything on the shot.
You see, as soon as the goalkeeper gets the ball, how wide Harry Rowe's coming close to us. And I think it's Benny on the other side.
Ooh, what a move there from Werba. And the one-timer stopped by Coleman. Oh, that was the best chance by
the
far
best counter from this now
of the game for Limestone. See if Rowe can run this one down. Keeper comes out and gets bumped, but it gets caught in the student section as we have a whistle. Hipper is down. You know, he just kind of got clipped by Harry Rowe when he was charging out of his box, and now is on his back. And they stop the clock with 19:39 to go here in this one. Looks like Johan is okay. You run the risk of contact like that when you come that far out of your box at that speed if you're a keeper.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Especially when they're challenging players in the air.
Yeah, there's nothing Harry Rowe could have done to avoid him.
Oh, no. Looks like the coach from Limestone's managed to have a few words with a few of the players while they've been getting a few drinks.
Referee called them back as quickly as he could once it was apparent that Hipper was okay. So here's Benny. He will take the throw in.
And he's moved to the left-hand side.
He has.
And Rose going off.
Cascone in the middle. Knew exactly what he wanted to do with it. Oh. And there's a foul on Bohiguas there on the far side. Almost got away with one, but the linesman with the flag over there got him.
I think this 3 at the back system has worked really well for the Bears. It's has looked solid, and it has given them width as well out wide with the 2 fullbacks. We'll see here with Benny sprinting down the line.
See if Cascone decides to maybe shoot it a little sooner. Got cut off and went back to Montano. Under 20, almost around the 18-minute mark. Still waiting on that first goal.
Good high pressure from the Bears.
It's Jaime DeManuel down there. It's a good win that time for Jacob Hancock, who had maybe the best scoring chance of the second half for the Saints, but couldn't cash in, but now he's coming off. Mark Radoki replaces him. He started the game. 17 and a half to go. Clock runs again. Alexander Render with a good touch with the head there for Limestone. Favors his left foot after he lands. Lots of pressure being put on by both sides here in this, what is becoming the later stages of this game. Jaime Poza.
That was a good ball out wide.
Was Bohiguis tries to bump it ahead with his head. Coming in flying is Delgado. Battle of the twos. Benny Gienizer and Stefan Robe. That one won by Robe.
Benny has played well today, though. And he's had a lot of work to do in that position. We've seen how many substitutes, how many times Harry Rose come on and off. Because that role is so demanding between Benny, Harry.
Oh, that was a big hit that time. Looks like S.J. Dreschler maybe belongs on the American football field with that hit. Took him right out.
But even Bohigues now on the right-hand side is such a demanding role, running up and down the pitch.
If there's anyone the Bears can turn to offensively, it's that man right there, Victor Cascone.
Oh,
Bohiguis on the far side, a great ball, centered up, but Poza got blocked off by the defender. Feels like somebody's just going to have to make a miraculous play. Delgado, not close.
He was hoping it was going to be him.
Yeah, that was his version of his miraculous play. But seriously, that is what feels like is going to win this game either way.
Yeah, well, that was a brilliant ball out to the right-hand side before. And just unfortunately, no one could get on the end of the cross when he got whipped in.
Importance of good touches at this point in the game heightens in a time where it becomes more difficult to have a good touch when the stress is higher and the pressure is higher.
The fatigue's coming on as well.
Limestone playing a little bit of keep away right now. Good touch there by Poza to track that ball down. Carlos tried to slide under that Saint, but didn't work out. Coleman, good read. Came up and got it on the short hop. He's been phenomenal tonight.
Yeah, definitely.
His coaches can't say enough good things about him either.
Well, for a supposed backup goalkeeper, he's
anything but a backup.
Yeah.
It's too long there. How many of those have we seen tonight from the Bears?
Yeah, plenty.
It's a team that, while very skilled and very intense, just hasn't quite found their footing offensively, you know.
Yeah.
They haven't found their mojo the way that you would hope they would at this point. that probably is because this is only their third game.
I was just about to say that. Yeah, that's quite common at the beginning of the season.
It just seems like this late in the season with their first game 2 weeks ago, and this is only the third one, that they should have more reps, but it's easy to forget that they don't, you know?
Yeah.
Obviously, there's a lot of skill and technique and everything, but when it comes to executing and really finishing in that final third, it just takes time. The Bears haven't been able to put in that time in real game action yet. Trying to steal one tonight. Limestone, meanwhile, has already 4 games under their belt. This is number 5 for them. They have at times looked more polished. That one centered up. Looked like it maybe was out of bounds, but no call. Physicality picking up here. So we're about to be under 10 minutes, but Ferreira draws that foul. Leading scorer on this team has been right in the middle of most of the Saints' best chances tonight.
From the way this game's been going, the Bears' best chance will be to win this, to win possession from this set piece and just try and get everyone to the other end as quickly as possible.
Counter-attack, as you say?
Counter-attack, yeah.
Yeah, that makes complete sense to me.
Obviously, Limestone could mess up their plans and just score a goal from this free kick.
Right. Very possible. Ferreira will take it. But it misses everybody. Second time we've seen that. I was confusing Ferreira and Fabricio there. Fabricio was the one that won the ball, and Ferreira took the kick. More reinforcements coming on for the Bears. Tifol comes back on. Xavi Moya as well. Gotta send the reinforcements out there now for the final sprint in this last 9:40 of regulation. Carlos Montalivo Lobo. Xavi misses the tackle. 3 defenders back. Popped in.
He's a good defender.
Diego Delgado is a phenomenal defender. Goal kick coming for the Saints after DeLoff's run got cut off, and then off of him, another Saint is down.
It sounded like some of the Limestone players were asking for a penalty, weren't they?
I think they were. 8:23 to go, and the clock stopped as the training staff makes their way out. Can't see the number at all. It's on the far side, and the injured player is surrounded by people.
There's positives and negatives to take out of this for both teams. Obviously, they've not conceded. They've both done well defensively. But obviously, the coaches for either side won't be best pleased with the attacking displays. There's not been too much on show from either side, to be honest. Tonight,
there's just not a whole lot that's happened in this game. There's been chances. There's been a few decent scoring opportunities for both sides, but It's been a lot of good defense. I mean, these are two strong defensive teams.
Yep.
And offense is not quite taking advantage of the opportunities when they've had them.
No. And it seems like it's been hard for the strikers to get the ball to their feet. It's been going through to midfield, and then it's been going out wide.
Ooh, that's a great defensive play there by Render. Slide in front of that ball. Both these teams are going to be a problem for a lot of people in SAC conference play. Chance inside the 18 for the Bears. Cascone pops it a mile high. Hipper comes over and grabs it out of the air. Well done by him. We've had great defense tonight. We've had great goalkeeper play on both ends. And if you hear those two facts, then you're probably not that surprised there hasn't been a goal yet.
Both midfields have been good, solid defensively, but creatively, they've not really made too many passes through the back line.
Hasn't been a lot of aggression in that way either. A couple of attempts, but nothing that was really realistic to happen.
No.
Six and a half to go. Jacob Hancock, who checked out earlier, comes back in now. Pressure put on by Tiefel. Hipper's very aggressive out of his box. That's for sure.
Yeah. That can be a good thing, though, as long as, obviously, the ball doesn't beat him and he doesn't miscalculate one of his passes.
Hasn't had any miscalculations tonight. Here's a run for Limestone. Getting late. Jacob Hancock centered up. And there's the first goal of the game. They finally break through. Tristan DeLoff opens the scoring with less than 5.5 to go. As the Limestone bench clears and dog piles onto him. Wow. Take a look at our Spangler Restoration replay. Hancock made the most out of that pass and chance after he messed up an earlier one.
There's a substitute. Good substitution by the coach. Hancock's just come on.
He had just come on, yeah. Not even a minute before. But a turnover for the Bears, and DeLoff buried it. Pretty demoralizing goal late here against the Bears, who have 5 minutes and 24 seconds to try to tie this thing back up.
Put an Englishman on the pitch and see what happens.
That's right. Harry Rowe comes back.
I think the Bears have just got to go for it now. They've got nothing to lose.
Nope.
And you see how many of them Bears players are already getting up into the opposition half.
Xavi Moya. It's got to be all attack now for the Bears. Fernandez too strong for Cascone. I'm not sure if he was looking for him. Now they're kind of yelling back and forth at each other like, what are you trying to do there? It's been that kind of night for the Bears when they're if the offensive and defensive players of the year in the league aren't on the same page, then it's probably not your night. They let it bounce, and it ends up on the foot of Montano.
The Bears are a lot more attacking now. We've got a lot more players in the opposition half.
Tiefel's shot got blocked. Second play, about 10 minutes, or less than 5 minutes for Render, just completely erased the shot.
It's just a shame it's taken the Bears to concede to actually start attacking, really.
They've tried to attack, but now they're throwing all of their energy towards it.
Yep.
Cascone not quite able to get there. 3.5 to go. This feels like in hockey when the team pulls the goalie and they send an extra attacker out to try to tie the game up. This is what this feels like right now.
Yep.
Gardner's pass isn't good. Hancock, who just set up the previous goal. They pop it into Coleman. Time to go. No time to waste if you're the Bears. Harry Rowe,
make the
strong
most of
with
this.
the left foot, gets it in the front. Oh, what a save! That was headed for the back of the net, and Hipper barely got enough of it. Whew! Take a breath if you're a Limestone fan. My goodness. So close. So take a look at our Spangler Restoration replay. One guy, two guys. That was as close as the Bears have come to scoring tonight. They've had a few close calls, but that was easily the closest.
It was a good save by the keeper in the end.
And if Limestone holds on to win this game, you can look at that sequence right there. Cascone sends it in as Hipper volleyball spikes it out of there. This one's tipped in. That's Tiefel over there in the corner. Spins out of it with a good move. That one's up, and Hipper stops it again. They say he was in bounds. Bears wanted a corner, didn't get it. Over 2. Not time for complete panic yet, but we're getting there. It feels like if the Bears didn't get one there. Here's DeLoff now. He already has one goal. Coleman stops it, and it's in the back of the net. DeLoff's original shot got stopped by Coleman, and right there for the rebound was his teammate. Limestone is going to come into Moretz and leave with a victory.
And that's what I was talking about earlier when I was mentioning about the counter attack. Just that one quick ball over the top, and possessions changed. It shows how quickly the game can change. The Bears were dominating for that last few minutes, knocking on the door, and then go another one down. That's the risk you run when you're going all out attack.
So it goes from the Bears mere inches away from tying the game to a 2-0 lead for Limestone. Limestone is very resilient and gritty, though, and they deserve everything they've gotten tonight.
If you're a Limestone player or a Limestone coach, you'll be happy on the coach back tonight.
All of a sudden, another chance for them, not letting the foot off the gas at all. So we're just over a minute to go. It's not a terribly far drive back to Gaffney, but it's going to be a happy one for the Saints tonight. This one's chipped in, and
They've
Coleman
defended
pops
well.
it out. They've defended more than well.
And then when it's counted, they've gone up the other end and scored.
Hipper's been phenomenal, flawless. This game would be tied if not for him. Harry Rowe just didn't have enough space to get enough on that. But barring a huge change here in the last 20 seconds, going to be back-to-back 2-0 losses for the Bears. Only scored the 2 goals on the season in the opener. Had the chances, they just haven't executed at the end. But tonight, the team that did execute at the end was Limestone. And they walk out of Moretz with a 2-0 road victory here in the Bears conference opener.
No doubt the Bears will be watching that back, seeing where they can improve for next time.
Heck of a game tonight for the Saints. Sometimes you just got to tip your hat to the team that made the plays at the end of the game. That's exactly what the Saints did. Bears have another game on Wednesday. They head to Barton. 2 weeks from today, they'll be back home against Lincoln Memorial. We'll have that one for you on the Bears Sports Network. For now, for Jacob Parkinson, the rest of our crew, Eric Bach saying good night from Hickory. Limestone comes in, takes a huge road win to open SAC play.